So I think we'll probably all have quite similar answers on this, but a lot of clubs are looking at those marginal gains and how can they affect performance. Michele, do you think that player care is related to performance? Is it something that you can see the benefit on the pitch from what you do off the pitch?
Yeah, I really do think that player care can improve performance in general. Obviously, I've mentioned in the past about how player care can't necessarily improve your right foot, your left foot, your head and that type of thing. But I do think a settled player is a focused player. And if you're settling in, if you're happy, do you make a better start? Is therefore your development kind of a little bit better from the start, from the outset? So yeah, I think kind of taking that into a match day on a Saturday, I do think your performance improves. And I also think you can, certain things like being able to take setbacks a little bit better and making sure that you're recovering for that following game. So yeah, I think in general, it does improve performance.
And Sue, when you're looking at it, if a player is, anyone can ever be free from stress, but is unburdened by major issues in their life, do they play with a certain freedom, or even just live with a certain freedom that can lead them to sort of athletic success?
Yeah, I think although it's very untangible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's difficult to make the link in a logical way, I suppose. But if you kind of think of yourself, and if you had a PA in whatever circumstance you were in, it would improve your performance and your level of well-being. So, can you correlate that with player care and players? And I think you can, because it's about you not just having to rely on yourself to do everything, isn't it? Or to think of everything, or to be self-supporting all the time. We need people around us, and if you can have expert people around you that have got your best interests at heart, then that has to be a good thing. And it's not even just on that level. We mentioned earlier about marketing. It's a great marketing aspect as well. I would love to find a way of measuring how it affects the bottom line, because I have no doubt that it absolutely does. It's just, in the world of science and, we have to put a figure to everything, it's really difficult. But, logically, when you look at it, in other ways, I've no doubt it makes a difference to performance. I've seen it. Yeah. Anecdotally, a lot of players will talk about it as well, won't they? So, there's proof there too, I think.
Absolutely. Michele?
I think we talk about transferable skills quite a bit as well. And, so if we were to do something at Sunderland that had a big focus on transition out, for example, I think the number one focus that we would try to put on that is what can we transfer from the experience that you might have. So for example, doing some work experience, how can you improve that, use that to improve your performance? And that's something that we always want the boys to really pick up on. So is it communication, is it leadership, is it being able to deal with being out your comfort zone? So if you get moved up into the first team, are you able to deal with that a little bit more? Yeah. And I've mentioned before in the past about minimising losses, maximise performance. Can you just achieve your potential a little bit quicker, whatever potential means? There's a debate around potential, but yeah, it's, do you have a bit of a head start? Are there certain skills and qualities that really allow you to express your potential out on the pitch?
Yeah, I think to answer this question, you have to kind of look at how we're working together with performance departments. Yeah. And I think, Michele, I've heard you speak and talk about a one club approach on a number of occasions. And I think, looking at instances where when player care and maybe medical have worked well together, I certainly know that we've had injured players who maybe can't go up and down stairs. So by working with player care, we might move a bedroom into their living room so that they're not having to go up and down stairs 3 times a day, which therefore might allow them to recover a couple of days sooner to get back on the pitch. And so this is where I think hopefully the future of football is coming, where it is integrated, where the medical guys will give the player care guys a call. Hey, how can we support with this? Or obviously proactive is not just reactive, but trying to work out how we can support each of the other departments, not just the players, but the entire performance area of the club, to really bring that togetherness and that synergy to really succeed on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, you could even look at it from a humanistic perspective, couldn't you? And look at someone, you know, if someone wants a theory, look at Maslow, where, you know, he says you have to have, you know, the base needs met before you can self-actualize. So, and, you know, obviously shelter, food, warmth, and then a sense of belonging, safety, you know, all the things that player care would do, you know, and then it goes up and up to self-actualize. So if you haven't covered those bases, you're never going to reach your performance. So the scientists can have a theory, they can have Maslow's theory if they want to back it up.
No, absolutely. I think trying to look at those sort of, whether it's the hierarchy of needs or other theories, I think for me it sometimes gives me the why onto what, because I think, you know, I've often thought, I know that's right, but I couldn't, you know, identify why I thought that was right. But actually, when you read some of these writers, psychologists from even years ago, it kind of gives you that understanding of, you know, that almost that reassurance of what you're doing is doing it for the right reason. So I think the more science we can bring in, the more different things, and also looking at different examples from other sports and non-sports, I think as well, it is really interesting. I mean, I've done some work within global mobility, which is sort of the businessman moving from, you know, Samsung CEO moving from Asia to America. They might have a year to move the guy. They might have a much smaller budget, whereas we are the opposite. And especially in the first team, we have 5 hours to move the guy, but we have almost an unlimited budget to do it. But actually looking at the way they do things, there's so much that we can pick up. And I think football tends to sometimes be a position that we know best. And I think when we as staff are open-minded to other things, whether it's other people within the industry, whether it's other sports, other businesses, other, you know, ways of thinking, I think it's fantastic. And, you know, Sue and I joke that we don't agree on everything, but I think, I mean, I certainly feel stronger from having learnt, you know, the way that you speak and the way you refer to different things. And I think I've learnt from you as well, Miguel, don't worry. but I've learnt so much from listening to other people who have different approaches. And I think that's almost the beauty of player care, is that it's a 2-word term for such a diverse and wide, you know, plethora of things that are different things at different clubs, but also different ways of doing things at different clubs.
And then different things for different individuals that come your way, isn't it? It is a very complex, multi-layered area that I don't think has had the appreciation or understanding previously, and how much it does bring.
I think we've got to, you know, make sure that we include here about the impact of performance. So the discussion point is, how does it impact performance? And I think if we flip it, and if football clubs didn't have player care, then would performance reduce, or would it not be as good? To some players, probably. So, you know, you might talk about players that haven't got that support to settle in, and, you know, are they, you know, maybe they don't improve performance, but is it negatively affected? Probably.
Yeah. It's hard to say, because so much goes into a team winning a league or a cup or a competition. It's hard to say, but I think also you can look at about individual performance. Are there players who maybe haven't had that support coming in, that have not succeeded where potentially they could have done had they had that support historically? So yeah, a really fascinating discussion there.